Okay, so this short little video about slope, and maybe some distance, but slope, if you remember, is the change in y over the change in x, which makes the y minus y over x minus x. I want you to start thinking about slope, though, as the distance between those, the distance between y and the distance between x. Now, I'm going to use the formula on here, but we're going to talk more about that in class. So if you remember, we always used m for slope. Negative 4y minus 10 over 1 minus negative 6. I know they did that y1, y sub 2, y sub 1, but I always just put the first y I see in minus the second y. The first x that I see minus the second x. So I get negative 14 over 7, which is negative 2. And if I thought about this, what's the distance between the y's? The distance between these two y's, negative 4 and 10. And if you think about that on a number line, negative 4 to 0 is 4. And 0 to 10 is 10. So the distance between those y's is 14. And the distance between 1 and negative 6, the distance between the x's, is 7. And I'm getting the same thing. You just got to be careful of the sign. It's the negative slope, not a positive slope. But we'll talk more about that later. All right, so let's do another one. Let's say negative 5, negative 7, and 3, 0. So slope is y minus y over x minus x. So I get negative 7 over negative 8, which becomes positive 7/8. Okay? And that's all we're doing for slope. But let's go ahead and do distance. So the distance formula is the square root of x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. So a lot of similarities in this slope formula, isn't there? Now, if I use the same points, so let's see, we got 1, negative 4, 1, negative 4, and negative 6, 10. Okay, so distance equals the square root of x minus x, which is x minus 1 minus negative 6 squared plus y minus y squared. All right, so I'm going to do this slow. This becomes 1 plus 6. And that becomes, well, negative 14. So I get the square root of 7 squared which is actually, let me just write that. 7 squared is 49. And of course, I had to give myself one that I can't do in my head. So 14 squared is 196. And that gives me the square root of, let's see, 15, 4, 245. And I'm just going to leave that like that for now because I don't need to do anything with it. And And we will talk more about distance in class. But those are just a few examples to get you started in class tomorrow.